Hello and welcome back to Around the Bloc. Hope you're all doing well today and you are very excited for the start of a new season in a new division. We're now in the Slovak First Division, the top tier of Slovakian football. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you're all keeping safe and well and you've had as good of a weekend as you possibly could. Obviously all trapped at home at the moment. I had a good one. I had a very busy one actually because I've been prepping for the upcoming Football Manager tournament which coming up very soon, the EFL Football Manager Tournament. Now, as you may be aware, if you've seen on Twitter or in a video or on a stream, I am the manager of Lincoln City in this upcoming EFL tournament. So it's going to be quite exciting. I'm actually representing Lincoln City, the team I support. So I'm really excited about that. The draw has been made, and in the first round, I'm up against Stoke City. So that's going to be tough. At my disposal, I've got the real-life Lincoln City squad, whereas the opposition has got the real-life Stoke squad. So it is going to be really tough to get past Stoke. Okay, it's going to be really tough. But I have been busy this weekend trying to build a tactic with some of my friends, and we keep playing games against each other, trying to build a good tactic where we might be able to overcome Stoke and things like that. And I think we've got something. It is going to, the thing is, you know, whatever we do, it is going to be tough against Stoke because they're a much better side than Lincoln City. But we've got a tactic, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe some mind games come into play and things like that. But I don't want to give anything away too much because I'm sure my opposition is going to be doing the scouting on me. So whoever my opposition is, this is definitely the tactic I'm going for. Definitely the tactic I'm going for if you're my opposition. So prepare for this tactic. If he's watching, that should have tricked him and sorted them out. Fingers crossed. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that, although I will be talking about it in episodes later on this week, probably. Today, we're all about this first game of the new season against a team called Nitra. Should be interesting. So there is good news and bad news, and I think we'll go through the bad news first, just so we've got that out of the way pretty quickly. The transfers, I think, are good, but they're probably not quite at the level to be challenging for much more than avoiding relegation really this season, I don't think. We have managed to bring in quite a few decent players, which I'm very happy about, but still we're not maybe quite at that level just yet. I'm not too sure. The first two players, just to get out of the way very quickly, Peter Nemeth and this guy, and then also Jaroslav Horvath. They are both youth players that I've brought in who had for 4.5 star potential when they join the club. They keep going down a little bit, which is a little bit frustrating. But these are players for the future, which could be okay. A striker and a centre midfielder. So I think they might be all right. But hopefully we'll see them in a couple of seasons' time or something like that. But don't expect to see these two this season. So the first real transfer we brought in was Patrick Blauhut. Now, he is a left winger. We didn't really have anyone other than Toth when we played left wing last season. So he's more like a backup option or a switching option with Toth. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential, but 25 years old, probably won't get there. He's more of a winger, which is a bit interesting because that complements Toth quite nicely because Toth is more of an inverted winger or an inside forward. So we've got some slightly different options on that right-hand side should we need it. But with only 2.5 stars of current ability, for the most part, Patrick might be starting games unless we do try and stick with inverted wingers, which he's probably not so good because his right foot's only weak, you see. But he came in from Peroni, the team that we beat in the promotion relegation playoffs, so hopefully he'll do okay for us. After that, we brought in Dacian Dunker. He is a right back and more of a backup right back this season. A youngster, 22 years old, so if he reaches that potential of 4-star, will be quite good, but is going to be the backup to Gunnarsson this season. He came in from another team in Romania, actually, and played a lot of games for them in their third tier and second tier, so has got experience at a good level of football, but is probably going to be more backup for us this season. That's for youth player. Vilmos Barros comes in from a team called Pax. Now, he is a goalkeeper who isn't as good as the scouts reckoned he was going to be, which is a little bit frustrating. Only 2.5 stars of current ability, but 22 years old with 5.5 stars of potential. We could see him rise up to 3-star, 3.5 maybe if we're lucky, something like that. He comes in after having a long career in Hungary with Pax and seems to do okay. Doesn't seem to concede that many more than what he's played and things like that. So hopefully that'll be all right for us if things like that. But as I say, he's very close with Huzarik, but we have brought someone else in, as you can see there. Next up on another free transfer, Ladislav Nagy comes in from a team in our division, Dunstrader, who we'll have a look at later on. They're one of the favourites to win the title this season. But Nagy comes in as a very good central midfielder, 3.5 stars of current ability, 4.5 stars of potential. At 22 years old, might be able to reach that as well. Where the attributes matter, they are pretty decent as well. So I'm looking forward to Nagy. He's one of the better players that we brought in. Hasn't played many games. Didn't play any last season, actually, in the Slovak First Division, but has played for Samara in the past couple of seasons and seemed to have done all right with them. 8 assists, 2 goals. That's not too bad, is it? Next up, Samuel Durek. He comes in as another centre-back. We needed a bit more quality and a bit more depth at centre-back. So with 3 stars of current ability at 26 years old, we won't see him improve that much, but hopefully should be a decent, solid, experienced player in that position. Playing for Peripherals Petterolka for quite a long time. Ignore the average ratings. I know they're not great, but Petterolka aren't a good team. So maybe he's not the best signing. But he was available. He looks all right. It looks like he might do a job as more of a backup player for us this season. So Durek comes in. The actual goalkeeper we will be playing this season is Tomasz Lesnowski. He's a goalkeeper with 3.5 stars of current ability. Only on £180 per week as well. So that's a very cheap deal. That's why I was happy to bring him in as a third goalkeeper, essentially. Or fourth if you include Patrick Davinsky in goal and things like that. So he looks okay. He looks decent. He'll be the first choice goalkeeper for us this season. He's played, again, at Petterolka, which maybe isn't the best pedigree of football, but has come from a long line of decent football teams in the second and first division. So I think he's got decent stats on him and attributes. We'll have to wait and see. Next up at left back, we've got a player who I really just cannot pronounce. Timotej Zahumensky, that might be okay. We might be able to say that. He's got some really good physicals, to be fair. Very good physicals. Mentals are decent. If technicals leave a little bit to be desired for, but we just need someone to stand there and not concede goals this season. So I think he might do okay. He's been in the first division for quite some time, so has got a lot of experience in the first division, particularly with Nitra, who we are playing against today. So that's quite handy. He'll know all about them, which should be okay. I'm looking forward to that. We also brought in Zoltan Kontar. He is a centre defensive midfielder because we might look to switch formations up a little bit this season. So he's more a backup player, but maybe we'll start to play some decent games after playing for Prisov for quite some time. He's come to us in the top division. And finally, you'll recognise him. We signed for £6,000. Peter Sina comes back to the club as the best central midfielder that we've got. Hopefully, we'll make a big impact this season and we'll do well. So they are all the transfers thus far. We're looking to try and get a couple more players in as well, but probably on loan more than anything else maybe. But we are doing quite well, I think, in terms of the squad. But it's just not... I mean, it's better than last season's squad, but it's just probably not quite up to Slovak First Division standard. If we have a quick look at the season preview, you'll see we are favourites to come 12th in the division. 1,000 to 1 odds alongside Prisov, so it's not looking great for us right now. The team we are playing against today, Nitra, they're favourites to come 6th, but they're also in the Europa Conference League at the moment, so hopefully they've already played a few games this season and they're quite tired. That might help us a little bit. But anyway, that's like the bad news over. It's not actually that bad, it's just that we haven't been able to bring in maybe quite the high quality players that we thought we might be able to bring in, which does mean we are going to be in a big relegation battle this season. But the good news. So, as you can see, there's 12 teams in this division. Everyone plays each other twice. That's 22 games. And then the league gets split in half. So the top 6 go into a championship group and the bottom 7 go into, or bottom 6, sorry, go into a relegation group. The relegation group then play to see who's going to get relegated. Whoever comes off worse than that gets relegated, and whoever comes 7th gets a European playoff place, which is very interesting, whereas everyone in the top 6 gets top 3 get European places, top 4th, 5th and 6th get into the European playoff places as well. But this works out in our favour, I would say, because if we can get in our aim is 7th, essentially. Our aim is to try and finish 7th in the regular season, and then we've got teams below us to play, and we could try and win that group. We'd be in a chance of the European playoff places, win the European playoffs, and then we get to go into the, the Europa Conference League next season. Now, the reason I want to finish 7th rather than be in 6th and be in that championship group is because if we finish 7th in the league and then end up finishing top of that relegation group, we'll be in good form and really good morale, whereas the teams that finish 4th, 5th and 6th in the championship group probably have lost most of their games in that second half of the season. So their form won't be as good, their morale won't be as good. And I feel like we've got a good chance maybe of winning the playoffs if we come 7th. So that's the aim this season, 7th. But that is a long shot. It is a long shot. I think more likely our aim is going to be 10th in the table. But you never know. Fingers crossed. So with all of that said and done, transfers done, talking about the league table, been and done, talking about targets for this season, I think we go into the fixtures. Before we talk about the tactics, I'll just remind you, Club Vision, play possessional football, play high-tempo pressing football. Okay, that's what the board want to see. And it worked well last season, and it worked well in that relegation promotion playoffs against Peroni. So it's risky. It is very risky, I agree. But we're going to try and stick with the same formation that we played last season, this 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, positive mindset, attacking play. Now, it's risky because we're in a bigger division where we are one of the worst teams in there, but teams won't expect this from us, and we might be able to pull off a few upsets and things like that, particularly against some of the lower ranked sides in the competition. So that's what I'm hoping for. It worked relatively well in friendlies. We won 3, drew 1 friendly, so that was good. But the league's a different matter. The league is a different matter entirely as we take on Nitra today. Right, the team. In goal is Lesnovsky, that new goalkeeper, with a backline of Ferenc starting alongside Derek, Advic and Gunnarsson. The reason Advic is starting is because Thomas Philippak carries over a suspension from last season. That's why he's not playing right now. But we will look to try and sign another centre-back or two because I think we're going to need them. In the centre of midfield, their role suitability isn't brilliant, so we might look to change this up a little bit. But we have Nagy and Sina at the centre midfield position, so I think that should be okay. Toth, Brian Briggan, unchanged from last season in the attacking midfield as it stands right now, and Barbosa still leading the line for us. I think he's a good enough striker for this level, so hopefully he'll bag some goals. So that's the team, that's the lineup. Let's try and get a win on the first day of the season. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today. The Slovak First Division doesn't know what's going to hit it, as we've already taken a huge step by having 3 shots to their 0 shots, and we've put that just... In fact, no, that was their chance, Nitra's chance. We're in the white, they're in the blue. Okay, let's get that out of the way first and foremost. Brigant with a free kick, though, 8 minutes into it, and he's put it in the back of the net. A fantastic start to today's game. You love to see it. Great stuff from us there. Wow, I'm pleased with that. That's a great start to the game. Great free kick as well into the top corner. The stadium we're currently playing, of course, we've moved stadium, haven't we? I completely forgot about that. We're playing in Rosenborg Stadium because ours is too small. And by the looks of things, we're not going to get a new one built or ours extended anytime soon. Maybe if we stay in this division, we might get a new stadium at some point, but I'm not too sure about that. As Ferenc collects the ball at the back, pumps it forward, but not really the greatest ball forward as it comes straight back to him, but he can't really get the tackle in as he lets his man into the box and behind him. Levnovsky, though, with a really good save. Hopefully, we're going to see plenty of big saves from him this season. Throw in for us, though, in an attacking position right now is Gunnarsson, who's played really well the past 2 seasons, puts it in towards Nagy. Nagy can't quite win it, and a bit of a counter-attack coming from Nitra now as our defenders just sort of stand aside and let him through, and Lesnovsky has a really tough challenge there to try and make that save, but he's done it. The way he's playing so far, Lesnovsky, I think he potentially could be winning his points this season on his own. Corner, though, for the opposition as we do clear it, and Brian now trying to start a bit of a counter-attack. He's very quick with the ball at his feet as he gets it out wide, puts a cross in towards Nagy on the edge of the area. Nagy, can he get it through to someone? Barbosa's there, it's pulled across, and it goes to Brigant, who scores the second of the game. And that is a fantastic little move, I've got to say. Really, really top quality, that. Barbosa, I'm very impressed at how unselfish he was there. Selfless from him. He could have had the shot here instead. In fact, actually, I don't think he did. I think it was a tackle. I think the defender gets that last-ditch tackle in there, actually. It's Brigant scores from that tackle. Actually, Barbosa, I'm praising you for nothing, actually. You were going to be selfish, but actually, great interception there from a Nitra player to just put it on a plate for Brigant. 2-0 up. This is a great start to the season. Now, if he can put a good cross in right now, cleared, only as far as Advic, though. Can he play it back into Brigant? He can. Brigant, back to Advic. Advic across to Sina, into Brigant, into Barai. Barai shoots. Oh, second time of asking, putting it just wide of the post. This has been a really, really good first half. If we can just see it out now, I'll be really pleased. I'll be so pleased with the performance as we can't quite do much with it right now. I've also just realised that the microphone is going to be really loud, which is really frustrating, and they've scored. I was recording some other stuff with my friend earlier, and I've realised I had to turn the microphone right up, so it's probably going to be ridiculously loud. I will fix that right now. Shame on me. Shame on me. And shame on the Naftan. Ooh, don't say that again round here. Should have defended that a little bit better, and Lesnovsky should have saved that, but at least we are 2-1 up. Okay, well, the audio looks a little bit better on my screen now. I do apologise for probably being quite loud to start off in today's episode. It shouldn't be too bad. I don't think it was peaking that much, but apologies either way. Gunnarsson on the ball, though, right at the end of this first half for us now. Brigant in the area, looking for a hat-trick, puts it across to Toth, who restores that 2-goal cushion. Great stuff to just bounce back like that straight away. Really pleased. That's a great response. Brigant has been superb, I've got to say. Was questioning his abilities a little bit coming into this season, but in this first game, he has really proved me wrong. And as has Toth, with a great header there. He always proves me wrong, Toth. Always does. So half-time then, 3-1 up. You love to see it. Passionately, very well played. Good stuff. Early on, though, in this second half, a corner for Nitra, which we've got cleared, but only as far as the edge of the area. The shot comes in, but luckily over the bar. I'll tell you what, I am really pleased with this performance, and as it stands right now, we're second in the table, which is higher than I ever thought we'd see, which is pretty impressive. Although saying that, we let Nitra through a little too easy there. We're going to have to be so careful against your teams like your Slovian Bratislavas and other good teams in the division that I don't know who they are yet. I'm actually quite reluctant to make changes, to be fair. I think Cena comes off because he's on a yellow card, and we bring on the boy Andrei Shittigel, who's unlucky not to start today. If we swap these two over, it doesn't really get any better, to be fair. So we'll leave Shittigel as that ball-winning midfielder. And we might bring on our new young right-back, maybe. How good's Gunnarsson playing? He's tired. Let's give him a little rest and bring Dunker on the pitch instead for the final 10 minutes or so. Let's just see what he can do. I'm interested, and especially if Gunnarsson does get quite tired, it'd be good to see him be able to step up to the mark and things like that as we retain possession from the corner. Barai shoots, just wide of the post. Barai now on the pitch, coming forward once again. If we can grab a fourth goal at the end of this game, this would be absolutely incredible. A Shittigel, who's known for his long shots, doesn't take a long shot right there, unfortunately. But Barai does take a long shot and hits the post. That was really unfortunate there. I've got to say, I feel like we've played Nitra off the pitch today. I mean, the actual match stats are pretty even. We've had a couple more shots and things like that, but they're pretty even. But I think from the chances created and stuff, we really have played them off the park with what we've done. So I'm really, really pleased with this. I was worried coming into this season, but I'm really pleased as Brigant gets his hat-trick. 4-1, and look at the table. We're top of it right now. You love to see it. With only 3 minutes valid time to go, I think this could be it. I think we could be finishing game week 1 at top of the table. Don't expect to see us here ever again, but it's a superb way to start the season, and what a great start to the season for Brigant as well. Getting himself a hat-trick. I'm very pleased with this. Really, really pleased with that 4-1 win, which puts us top of the Slovak First Division. Passionately, that was special, lads. No one gave us a chance. You played magnificently. Congratulations. And this is what we need to keep doing. We need to build that morale and keep that morale and momentum going. That's what we need to do. Great stuff. Martin take their chances. You love to see it. And Levnovsky makes a really, really good debut there as well. Just signed Lucas Danko. You remember him from last season. He's going to be the backup winger this season to Brigant. But if Brigant keeps playing like he is, Danko's not going to get much game time whatsoever. So welcome back to Martin Danko. Thank you very much. Trebizov are looking to buy Will Webber offers, although they want us to pay £120 per week of his wages, which seemed a little steep to me. So I think we will reject that, because in a league where we've not got much money and we are currently minus £400,000, we can't be affording to pay wages for players who aren't at the club. So we're going to have to, in fact, just reject that straight off. Straight away, reject that. And we might offer him out again, offer to clubs 2.5k. We might put up to 3.5k and add in, where is it? Selling team wage contribution. If we just put this all the way down to £1, okay, we can do a pound a week. That should be okay. But clubs then might like that. I don't know. Offer to clubs. We'll see what happens with Will Webber. He might not be here next episode. And now they've come back offering £3,500 and £1 per week for wages. So that looks fine to me. We'll accept that. Will Webber is leaving the club. So next episode then, I really want to do Slovian Bratislava, although I've just seen here it says Slovan Bratislava, not Slovian. So I must be saying it wrong. Apologies. Slovan Bratislava. We'll do them next episode, but I'd rather not do the Slovak Cup first round. So we'll probably do this Zlate game as well. So not many games to play in between episodes, but I really want to do Bratislava. I think that's the big draw this season, playing against them. So fingers crossed we get a good result in that game. So thank you ever so much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it and enjoyed that fantastic win against Nitra. That was unexpected, but I'm really happy with that. So thank you ever so much. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you next time. Have a great one. Goodbye.